Boom.
What are your favorite college party flicks?
Hello. How's everyone doing?
What's up?
Being. Things are well. Things are well. We're back at work. So it's like pretty stressful around here, but you wouldn't know it in the old casual video store. The end. Good advice, Ms. Zeal, if I may say. I'm a huge Tony Robbins fan, so some of the things you were touching upon, I was like, yep, 100%, 100%. That said, we're here to talk about college flicks. And I got to tell you, this was Susanna's request. And I had one or two of these movies on my horizon. But once she brought it up, I'm like, let's do it. So we're going to get right into it because as management always talks to me after the show, I run too long.
That's not true.
You always say that, but I have receipts. I can show people. Susanna's got the screenshots of, actually, it's just the screenshots of me super drunk hours later, like, oh, my bitch. Anyway, kidding, kind of. All right, so we're going to get into Back to School, which, by the way, this is in no particular order. These are just fun party flicks. Whatever floats your boat, check them out. We're just celebrating them. Has anybody seen this classic?
Yes. Amazing.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
I think you would dig it if you like Rodney Dangerfield or you like an early Robert Downey Jr. or you like Oingo Boingo or Sally Kellerman. There's just a lot of people in this. It's a lot of fun. Rodney Dangerfield, long story short, is a self-made millionaire who's never graduated high school. And his son is thinking about dropping out of college. So he wants to set a good example. And his wife just cheated on him. And he's like, I'm out. So he checked himself into college.
Yep.
Comedy ensues.
And the funniest thing about it is he's a diving coach and he can do amazing dives himself.
Yes, I remember. Yes. I don't know if he was a coach. He might have at one point in his backstory, perhaps. But yeah, he was known for the triple Lindy.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. And,
well, his son was on the diving team, right?
Correct. Yes, absolutely. Keith Gordon from Christine, Stephen King's Christine, I think 83. Yep. But you are absolutely right. Yeah, the diving aspect was a big angle of it. But it's a good, fun film if you're interested. And it's kind of like a fish out of water, but a fish in water. Check it out. It's
Sam
fun.
Kinison is the best in that.
Oh, 100%. How can I not? I always say this in every segment. God bless you, Kevin. Sam Kinison is a hell of a teacher. God rest his soul.
Yep.
We're moving. I know everyone's seen this next one, so we'll go to the next bit. Old School.
Yeah.
I'm gonna on this segment. I'm gonna get a movie that you've seen. I guarantee it. Old School's badass. These guys basically want to relive their glory years, and they get a frat house, and it's almost like a post-quarter. It's like a third life crisis, because they're in their 30s and such. But they get a frat house, and it goes off the fucking rails. Pardon my language, and it's funny. And I gotta say, there's a scene with Sean William Scott. He's like I think there's like a petting zoo at a party at one of the,
yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was a children's party and they had like a donkey or something like that.
Yeah. And he can't wait to trank it, right? Because he's like, if this thing gets out of fucking order, I'm gonna trank this thing. And Will Ferrell, who's drunk, is naturally the one to trank himself. And it's just Sean Williams Scott with a mullet, just doing his thing. It's perfect. Check it out. A lot of fun. Vince Vaughn, Will Ferrell, Luke Wilson, as you can see. The end. Moving forward.
Awesome.
Now, of course, I'm going to have to revisit this one. Revenge of the Nerds. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
No?
All right, I got you. So
Crazy.
this was on the sex comedy segment, but like, I mean, it's a college, film. Hello. And it's a party film. These guys get basically bullied by the big campus or big fraternity on campus, and they have to like climb back to like mentally outwit them to get their self-respect back. And spoiler alert, they totally do it. And every segment that has Revenge of the Nerds, I got to give a little shout out to the standee. Production value, boom. So yeah, we've talked about this before. There's a scene or two that's a little like questionable in today's society, but like you can recognize it that it's from '84 and it's just a straightforward piece of comedy from then. Relax, enjoy yourself.
Exactly.
Moving forward.
It's a great movie.
All right, PCU, anybody?
No.
Yes.
This movie is the most relevant fucking movie today. But it came out in, I think, 94. Anybody? So Kevin, have you seen
Yeah,
this?
yeah, no, that's doesn't have
David
the
Spade.
same, the guy who was the dean in Old School. Isn't he in this one? PCU, or am I wrong?
I'm gonna look at the credits because God bless. I don't know, to be honest. It's probably been 15 years since I've seen this. I've seen it a handful of times. I'm getting some notes here. God bless.
Yeah, Jeremy Piven.
Oh, he's not the dean. He's like the fucking animal in this film.
No, but he was the dean in Old School.
Fair. You're correct. Work. I'm getting notes here. And these are really good notes, by the way. I wish everyone can see it in Homeland. PCU is basically, I think it's Port Chester University, so it's creative title. And it's basically as politically correct as a college as you can get. And this is, again, 94. So they were ahead of their time. And there was like one like cool spot to have any kind of freedom, and it's like the Pit. And it's this area where just people fuck around and eat pizza and curse and sex, rock and roll, and so on and so forth. And of course, they're trying to destroy the Pit. It's almost the plot of Animal House, but within PCU. And I watched it. Actually, I got to tell you, I watched half of this a year ago when a friend came over, and I couldn't believe how current it was. I cannot. So if you're looking for a movie that's probably going to offend you, that's the one right there. The end. Do you have any memories of this in terms of the political correctness and how they were like poking fun of it? I mean, this is a Hollywood movie. I was very surprised even then. Now it should be probably canceled and wiped off the face of the planet, if I may. But let me hear your thoughts.
You know, I barely remember it. It was just one of those movies that I wanted to see because it looked like Animal House. And I remember that. And I remember I can't believe Jon Favreau was in that. Man, that guy's been around a long time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he came right up in it. All right, so, take it for what you will. Okay, moving forward. Van Wilder.
Okay.
Anybody? Amy.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna have to send these films to you. Van Wilder is basically a rated R Ferris Bueller in college, if I may. Some might say it's blasphemy, but it's kind of the vibe they were going for. In short, Ryan Reynolds meets a journalist who kind of exposes he's afraid to graduate. He's been there for a while. And there's a lot of like antics in this movie, as are all these movies. But this is where it starts getting gross. Okay. There's a dog that's never been neutered. So the balls are very full. Okay. So this is a college, it's a college party movie. So of course we're going to go here. So of course there's an antagonist in the film, like who's trying to, if I recall correctly, he's just like, he's a dick. He's like the highbrow frat guy, preppy dude, possibly, if I recall correctly, courting the journalist that is doing a scoop on Van Wilder. But his favorite thing is eclairs. So what they do is they drain the dog's balls, hook up the eclairs, and then they totally deliver it to him, and he just goes to town. He can't have enough of these things. Okay.
Oh,
so
my God.
Van Wilder, 4 stars.
Who couldn't have enough? The
That
bad
dude.
guy?
Yeah, that guy. Hold on. That guy. Yeah. I mean, it gets like a little much. But at the end of the day, they're sorry?
That's biological weaponry.
100%. That is a felony.
The convention, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm sure it was butter. So it was movie magic. Okay, moving forward. This is going off the rails here. Dead Man on Campus. I got to say, this is one of my favorite college films. Under the fucking radar and underrated. Came out in 98. I think the summer of 98. Has anybody seen this movie starring Zach Morris and Tom Everett Scott?
I don't think I've seen that one.
Highly recommend it. Totally funny movie. Basically, if I recall correctly, actually I should have seen it 100 fucking times. Zach Morris is basically kind of the Ferris Bueller-ish. He's like the straight guy. They're roommates. This guy is starting to fail, and he's going to lose a scholarship. And then they realize there's a tradition at this school, not a tradition, but like a loophole rule, that if a roommate commits suicide because of the emotional trauma of the roommate, they can in no way be expected to continue their work. So they basically get a passing grade for that year. So what they try to do is, since he's failing and he can give a fuck less about school, he's been there for like 6 years. Since he's failing, they decide to get a roommate, a troubled one. So they go through all these lists of like, they break into the fucking record, the school record files, and find like the most psychotic college, students. And then they bring them in as their roommates, one by one, trying to get them and push them to suicide.
Wow.
It's hilarious. I mean, the premise, people might be like, hey, I don't know about that. There's actually not a mean bone in this body of work, even though it's about what they're trying to do. But it's fucking great. And it's a lot of fun. And I got to tell you, the movie is not saved, but it's a home run by the next guy. It's the Lachlan Monroe.
There are families that treat life insurance that way.
Oh, for sure. Sadly, yes. So yeah, there's an actor named Lachlan Monroe. I think we have a few photos. He was in Scary Movie. This guy, I think he goes by Cliff in the movie. Steals the whole movie away from everybody. Totally funny. I can't stress how funny enough this guy is. Again, Dead Man on Campus. Check it out.
His energy reminds me of a young Gary Busey.
I can see that. He's probably more handsome. God bless Gary Busey, if I may. I mean, to teach their own, but Gary Busey's like a striking, holy fuck, that's a character right there. Yeah. Right? Am I wrong?
When Gary was young, he wasn't that crazy looking.
No, I know. Pre-motorcycle accident. Yeah, he was like a guy, but this guy's a little cleaner around the edges. But yeah, no diss to Gary Busey. But I will say, it's a badass movie. Zach Morris is hilarious in it. It totally works. It's fun. The end. Anybody on the next one? Rules of Attraction.
Oh, yeah.
I got one.
Yep.
I mean, this is a pretty big cast right here. We got Jessica Biel, fucking James Vanderbeek, that guy. What's that chick's name? Shannon Solomon. Remember her? Is that her name from back in the day? Early 2000s? She was in 40 Days and 40 Nights. First Night, I believe. I guess
I had a huge crush on Jessica Biel.
I actually worked on a short film that she produced in Acton, and got to hang out with her for a little bit. She's super cool. This is back in 2006. Wally was with me. We got a bunch of photos. Yeah, it was awesome. She's super cool. Yeah, I went to the wrap party. Anyway, this is a very dysfunctional college film, so it's not really a. Here we go. We got some notes. Kip Pardue. Remember Kip Pardue from Remember the Titans? Anybody? That movie is badass. Man, I feel like I'm getting crickets on this segment. This college party segment.
That's good.
Sorry?
You're educating us. That's good.
God bless you.
Kate Bosworth, too. I had a crush on her, too.
Of course you did. Sure. And then Ian Somerhalder, who's rad. He actually made a short film with Ian Bahar called it was Roommates, the series short film segment he was doing. He was also in Life as a House with Kevin Kline. Anybody? Great fucking movie. If you haven't seen that, please stop what you're doing. Watch it. It's a tearjerker, but very good. Anyway, this is a very dysfunctional film. It's a Bret Easton Ellis novel, adapted and directed by Roger Avery, who's one of the writers of Pulp Fiction. The other writer was Quentin Tarantino. Okay, wow. Big shoes to fill. So I don't know if he was trying to be clever boy on some of his direction, but after Pulp Fiction hits and somebody gives you a shot, all eyes on you. Okay, yeah. So it is good. It's very dysfunctional moving forward. Now I know everyone's seen this one.
Oh my God, yeah. Oh my God.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are your thoughts on this? Because I just got an important text message. I'm going to look at this while Danny talks to me. Cool, bam. Okay. I read it.
Hysterical movie. And I mean, they got so many funny people in this movie. I mean, incredibly funny people in this movie. And I always loved Amy Smart. What a great actress. Yeah. Yeah, wow.
So when this movie came out, sorry, I just got a little bit of a lag in the internet.
He's frozen.
Okay. When this movie came out, I was working at a theater at the time in 2000. It was called Studio Movie Grill. And at the time, the concept was very fresh and new. It was watching first run films when you can serve dinner and drinks, alcoholic drinks, whatever drinks to people. Okay, now it's everywhere and nobody gives a shit. It's like whatever, you expect it. At the time, it was unheard of, and not to get too off into the rabbit hole, but when Star Wars came out, Lucasfilm said, "Sorry, we're not hooking up Studio Movie Grill. We are not allowing the distraction of servers serving food and especially drinks to impair the audience to ruin the effect of Star Wars." Now they don't give a fuck. Every diner, movie theater gets Star Wars movies, but even though.
Who's the skinny guy in this movie? The really skinny one. What's his name again?
DJ Qualls.
I've hung out with him so many times at karaoke.
Oh, nice. Oh, well, I want to. Well, let's go into that real quick before we go into this segment because I do want to wrap up my trailer story with the theater I worked on. But talk to me.
Well, he's just a super nice guy. Everybody who knows me knows. Before the pandemic, I was doing karaoke every week. I loved it. In this one bar, he would hang out there, and we just got to talking. He's super sweet, super nice guy, very down to earth, very friendly to everybody. And
so what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
So when I was working at this theater at the time, all I saw was the trailer, and I got to tell you, it's one of the most perfect trailers I've seen, and that's saying a lot because these trailer companies can like really bake up a trailer for people, even if the movie sucks. Yeah. And so if you're not seeing the trailer, take a look. It's artistic as shit. It punches. There's ska music. It's badass. Basically, Breckin Meyer is having a long distance relationship with his significant other. I think she's in Austin and he's in Ithaca, New York. And so they're trying to make it work as they're in different colleges. And Amy Smart comes in. They have a frat party night and they make a sex tape. And since Breckin Meyer has been sending his acoustic videos to Austin, he accidentally sends the sex tape with Amy Smart and him to his girlfriend in Austin. So hence Road Trip. This was inspired. Todd Phillips is the writer-director. It was inspired by the road trip in Animal House. And Ivan Reitman actually produced this because he liked the works that the short film, I believe, that Todd Phillips had done before. So it had all the ducks in the row for this to be successful and the shepherding for this to be what it is. And it totally works. It's totally fun. A lot of good set pieces. I can go on and on and on. Sean William Scott is top form. But I will say, since gross out comedies are kind of the thing in college flicks, this scene right here, right there, is to be noted. So DJ Qualls, that guy in the Atari shirt, he orders some French toast, but he can't have sugar. Okay, because he's got health issues. So is that Horatio Sands? I think it is.
Yeah.
So he takes it back. He takes the French toast back, and he just looks at it for a minute. And if you look in the distance, you can see DJ Qualls chilling in his Atari shirt right there, just like waiting patiently for his sugar to be taken off. So this guy proceeds to fuck with his food harder than any movie I've ever seen. Okay, there's a moment where he puts one of the French breads in his crotch, and then he throws the other one, and he catches it in his waistband of his underwear, okay? and if that wasn't enough, he walks back to the table, refreshes their coffee, farts on the French toast. They don't know it's in his trousers. Farts on the French toast, says, "Excuse me," and then walks back. Basically, he delivers this thing right there, whatever that is. And DJ Qualls eats it and says it's good.
He has his mouth full. He's like,
I think compared to the eclairs from earlier, it might be okay.
It's a cousin. It's biologically tampered with. It's a felony. Okay, that's all I know.
It's a funny movie. It's a funny movie.
But I will say this gross out segment has more charm and comedy to it, in my opinion. Comedy is subjective than Van Wilder. Van Wilder is just like super disgusting. At that scene, it's just like, I mean, you like to see the comeuppance, but it's like, again, it's a felony. Moving forward, Euro Trip, the sequel to Road Trip. Anybody?
Yep. Saw it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
This guy gets dumped, goes on a European vacation. The end. And there's a lot of like funny comedy sketches. Let's move forward. These are guilty pleasures, but there's nothing wrong about these films. House Bunny, anybody?
She's great. She's so great.
Amy. Okay. Yeah, she's a Playboy bunny who gets kicked out of that Playboy mansion, and she's looking for residence. And she posts up in a sorority house as I think maybe the den mother. I thought Beverly D'Angelo's in that. It's been a hot minute since I've seen it. In fact, the last time I saw it was probably 2009, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. It all rests on her. She's comedically golden. I believe Colin Hanks is in it. Rumor Willis. It's basically she takes a band of awkward teens, late teens, under her wing to break them out of their cell, so on and so forth. But it's fun. It's a fun watch. The end. Last but not least, anybody? I know you guys have, but
Animal what?
Curse.
You're kidding, right?
Animal House.
Oh, yeah, I've seen Animal House. I didn't.
That's okay. It's a little tiny font for sure. This is the creme de la creme in terms of college party flicks.
Absolutely.
I don't care. In the next 1,000 years, if I could live that long, I would die on this hill. This is the best. I don't care whatever comes after.
Was it also when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor?
It's a perfect film. It's the worst. Delta is the worst fraternity around, and Dean Wormer has designs to smash them down and get rid of them. They're on double secret probation. Yeah. It's got a perfect cast. Everybody's on their A game. It's a 1978 movie of a 1962 college period. It's beautifully shot, well done, and can't recommend it enough. That was a short segment. That's all I got.
Yeah, John Belushi.
John Belushi in that movie was so incredible.
Agreed.
I mean, he's walking down the stairs, and this hippie dude with feathered hair parted in the middle, and he's got a cheesy mustache, and there's girls sitting around him, and he's singing. I think he was singing like "My life is a bowl of cherries that grows." And he's like, and all the girls like, oh, like that.
But at least Belushi waited for a second. He listened, and he evaluated, and then
he's standing on the stairs and he listens. He just grabs the guitar and goes, smash, smash, smash. Just destroys the guitar, puts it back in his hand, and goes, sorry.
Yeah. It's perfect. It's a perfect.
Sorry, it was just like
perfect film. In fact, National Lampoon's first feature. So they peaked with that movie.
They did.
Oh yeah,
100%. No disrespect to Vacation. What's interesting is I find Vacation, and it's subjective. Some fucking guy with videos who likes movies, and so blah blah blah. Vacation seems dated to me, but I love the film for what it is. I love the film. Animal House doesn't seem dated at all, even though it's a period piece film from 1978 to 62. Yeah, it's odd. I don't know. It's like one is forgiven and the other is like
a little trivia. I don't remember.
Kevin's got something. Sorry, if you don't mind.
I think that era of Belushi is the perfect combination of person, type of movie, and the time that the movie came out.
Agreed.
The Blues Brothers, that little era where Belushi was just at the peak of his powers. I don't know if that can be beat by any other actor in that kind of a time.
Shout out to Landis.
Yep.
John Landis, director. I totally agree. Danny, please forgive me for interrupting. What were you going to say?
No worries. I was just going to say a little bit of trivia. I remember hearing this story, but I don't know exactly how it occurred. But some of the main guys from the movie they actually crashed a fraternity party because they were doing the movie and they wanted to really be in the experience, and they were on the campus or whatever, and they wound up getting a fight, and they came back bruised and beaten the next day. So
they're method actors.
Yeah. So you got to look it up, but anyway.
I will ask before I close up the segment, because it's shorter than usual, if I may admit.
Awesome.
That's your call in the notes tomorrow. Amy and Susanna, are there any college films? You know what? I feel like I skipped American Pie too.
I've seen American Pie.
I skipped American Pie too.
Oh yeah, you did.
My fault. Excuse me, everybody. Forgive me. I asked you guys a question, and then I realized I skipped one. American Pie 2. They're basically all in college. but it's the summer, so they rent a beach house in Michigan. And it works. I almost like this more than the original. And there's a couple like real hijinksy set pieces because they're painting the house. And there's these two gals that live there, and they're like, "Oh, we think they're lesbians, but they're not.
Yeah.
Like maybe they are. Whatever the case." So they become like just like this dumb like male like spy movie, and they're like spying on them. It's totally fun.
Well, they got stuck in the room by mistake. The girls came home.
Yes.
And they got stuck, so they had to hide.
Yeah, and then they got discovered.
Yeah.
And then it's totally fun. So American Pie is on the list. Now forgive me because I actually forgot that one. And Susanna, God bless her, she just rolled with the punches of my forgetfulness. Amy, do you have any college flicks, not to put you on the spot, that you recall that you enjoy, perhaps? And there's no wrong answer if there's none that come to mind.
I can't think of any. I mean,
Susanna, you're next. Sorry?
I said I went to college. I did the whole sorority thing. So that was like movie enough.
Fair.
Yeah. Yep.
One that resonates with me is Neighbors, where they actually live next door to the frat house.
You know,
with a baby.
I actually neglected that one, unfortunately. Oh. That's a no-brainer. That's a great movie. The first one's awesome. Let's talk about Neighbors for a second.
Yeah, Neighbors was good. Before Zac Efron was, I think he had just done High School Musical or something like that. I didn't even know who the guy was, right? I'm at this event and I'm catering it. I'm with a catering company, and like everybody was there. Travolta was there. Christopher Walken was there. And I'm walking by Zac Efron, and all of a sudden this big guy comes up and he goes like this, you know?
His handler or guard, yeah.
And I'm just picking up plates off the table. And I looked at him. I was like, what the hell? I don't even know this kid, right? And Zach looks at me and he goes, and he shakes his head like, sorry.
I think I just thought of a college movie. I'm not sure. Pitch Perfect?
Yes.
That is.
The entire series.
I love Pitch Perfect.
Yes.
But that's not the raunchy comedies that we were doing for this.
No, but it's a college.
Yeah. It is
100%. 100%.
The question
correct.
wasn't about raunchy comedies. It was about college party flicks.
Is Pitch Perfect a party flick?
These are, I mean, what kind of party doesn't have?
There's lots of party.
If it doesn't have raunch, it's lame. Right. Yeah, Pitch Perfect is a absolute well-received college
party movies you're talking about, but it
is when I think of Pitch Perfect, I think of course there's some party scenes, but I think it's at the end of the day it's a competition. It's more like a Bring It On to me when I think about it. Am I wrong?
Right.
No,
it's a super competitive. Yeah. And rightly so. I mean, that's the whole plot. But what was the other one we were talking about? Oh, yeah, Neighbors was fucking great. Neighbors was very good. In fact, you're absolutely correct. Zac Efron was on my radar in terms of like, yeah, he's a Disney guy. He does High School the Musical. But in terms of like somebody I'd watch, I mean, at the time I was like 39 when that movie came out. Like I had no business watching that shit.
I think this is where he changed from Disney character to super hot character.
Yeah.
That was his transition.
I mean, fucking hilarious. He was hilarious. Like to act opposite Rogan and even steal the scenes from Rogan at times. Like,
he was shirtless most of the time.
Fucking comedically. Come on now, not Abercrombie and Fitchy. But the point is like, he was standing his ground, and it was very the screen was shared very equally, and sometimes they bested each other, but that chemistry that they had was very good. I thought the first one was awesome. So awesome. Rose Byrne was best. How you doing back there, Craig? Good to see you. Spotlight.
Hey. Craig's here.
Hey guys.
Do you have a college party movie, by the way, that you're interested in? Anybody? What do you think, Craig?
I did do a party movie, college, like a school movie. It was called Senior Skip Day. Check it out.
Oh, killer! Well, there you go. Senior Skip Day. I will check it.
Yeah, Larry Miller, Norm Macdonald, and a bunch of crazy kids.
Oh, badass! I actually almost threw an Accepted. Has anybody ever heard of that one?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I watched that last week with my kids.
Justin Long, and they do a fake college. That's actually a solid piece of work. Yeah. So that's all I got. Thank you
Awesome.
again. Good night.